Hello everyone, my name is Anmol Malvi and currently I am working as a data analyst. Today in this video, we are going to discuss about the case study related to the DP600 exam. So recently I have completed the Microsoft Certified Fabric Analytics Engineer Associate exam and got the score of 913 as you can see on the screen. Now directly let's move toward the case study. So the case study is related to the Contoso Limited, which is a US based health supplement company, and they have mainly two divisions named as sales and research. The sales division contains two departments named online sales and retail sales, and the research division assign internally developed product lines to individual teams of researchers and analysts. I wouldn't go in detail for the case study. If you want to read in detail, then you can pause the video and read all the uh, details regarding this case study. I will just provide you the basic overview. So when we talk about the identity environment, they have a tenant which contain two groups. First is research reviewers group 1 and second is research reviewers group 2. And when we talk about the data environment, then currently they have the Microsoft Power BI premium capacity, and then they have a fact table named orders which use import mode, and they have now enabled the fabric for the contoso.com. And right now they have two type of storage 1 which contains the research division data and storage 2 which contains the research division data for product line which is named as product line 2. And for the first one storage, the data is in the delta format, and for the second one the data is in the CSV format. Next they have some planned changes. So they want to enable the support for the fabric in the Power BI premium capacity used by the sales division, and make all the data for the sales division and the research division available in the fabric. And they want to create two few workspaces and then lakehouse and then shortcut. The detail you can read on screen by pausing the video. And next they have some data analytics requirement which is also mentioned on the page. Now moving ahead, they have some data preparation requirements in which the research division data for product line 1 must be retrieved from the lakehouse 1 by using fabric notebooks, and for all the research division data in the lakehouse, it must be presented as a managed table in Lakehouse Explorer. Next they have some semantic model requirement, and after it some general requirement. So you can read all the details regarding this case study by pausing the video. And if you want to get the full PDF which consists of both the case study and their solution, then you can simply reach out to me on LinkedIn, drop a message there. For the profile, LinkedIn profile, you can find the link below in the description. Now let's move toward the questions part. So the first question says that you need to ensure that Contoso can use version control to meet the data analytics requirement and the general requirement. So what should you do? So if you have explored the Fabric documentation, then you know that currently only Git and Azure repository is supported. So when we look at the option C contains the Azure Repos repository, and it says that modify the setting of the research division workspace to use an Azure Repos repository. So here option C is correct. Now moving toward the second question, you need to recommend a solution to group the research division workspace. And again, if you have explored the documentations, it says that in Fabric, a domain is a way to logically group together services in the organization. And you can also see in the option, the second option contain the name domain. So the grouping method we have to follow is domain, and the tool which we can use to perform grouping is the Fabric admin portal. It is also specified in the documentation. So the correct answer for the second question is domain and the Fabric admin portal. Now let's move toward third question. So the third question says that you need to refresh the order table of the online sales department, and the solution must meet the semantic model requirement. So pause the video and go and check the semantic model requirement and the requirement for the order table. So after reading that, you can find out that we need to retrieve the maximum order ID in the destination table to minimize the number of rows added during refresh. And this would be an incremental load. So it can be done using the data flows. And as you can see on the screen, option D contains that an Azure Data Factory pipeline which will execute a data flow to retrieve the maximum value of the order ID. So option D is correct. Moving towards the fourth question. So it says that which syntax should you use in a notebook to access the research division data for product line 1. So again, you have to go and check the requirement for the product line 1 data, and it says that for the research division workspaces, the member of research reviewers group 1 must be able to read lakehouse and warehouse data and shortcuts by using SQL endpoint. So looking at the option B is correct in this scenario, which says that spark.sql and then select star from lakehouse 1 dot research product. And if you are confusing in A and B, so the syntax for the option A is incorrect. Option B is correct for question 4. Now let's move toward question 5. It says that which workspace role assignment should you recommend for research reviewers group 1 and research reviewers group 2? And in the options we have the options available as contributor, then member and viewer for both the workspace. So again, by reading the case study, you can find out that for research reviewers group 1, we have to enable them so that they can read using SQL endpoint. So for that, we have to assign them the viewer role, and research reviewers group 2 members should use the Lakehouse Explorer. So for that, we have to assign them the role of contributor. So the correct answer will be research reviewers group 1 should assigned viewer access, and research reviewers group 2 should assigned contributor access. Moving toward the sixth question, it says that what should you use to implement calculation group for the research division semantic model? And the options are Microsoft Power BI Desktop, the Power BI Services, Dex Studio, and Tabular Editor. So as of now, if you explore the Power BI part, then you can find out that now you can create calculation group both in Power BI Desktop and the Power BI Services along with Tabular Editor. But right now that feature is in preview, so the correct answer here will be D, Tabular Editor. Moving toward the question 7, it says that you need to migrate the research division data for product line 1 and the solution must meet the data preparation requirement. And how should you complete the code? So the requirement says that we have to use manage table. So as we know that for manage table, the table should be in delta format. So for the first part, the answer is very obvious that we have to create the table in delta format. And if you can see here, it says that dot save. If we have dot save as table, then we can directly use product line 1. But right now, as we only have the save, then we have to use option 2, which is save table slash product line 1. And moving toward the question 8, in which we need to recommend which type of fabric capacity SKU meets the data analytics requirement for the research division. So again, from the case study, we know that the research division workspace must use a dedicated on-demand capacity that has per minute billing. So only Microsoft Fabric capacity, using Microsoft Fabric capacity in as pay as you go or reservation, we can access that. So option D, which says F, which means that fabric capacity. So D is correct. So this is all about the case study 1. Subscribe the channel for to get updates regarding the rest of the questions for the DP600 exam, and soon I will be publishing the part 2, the case study part 2, and we will discuss the questions for the case study second. If you want to get the PDF for both the case studies, then drop me a message. Thank you.